a little Bitcoin and a pretty big pop over the weekend following some stability around this 3,000 to 4,000 area. I want to bring in Scott Bauer, who's joining us from the CME. He's the CEO of Prosper Trading Academy. Scott, you looking at this bounce, getting excited about BTC again, or what?
I am just bouncing off the rails right now, Oliver. You and I have this conversation all the time, and this is one of those times that this massive consolidation that we have seen over the last weeks, maybe even months here, where we've actually come out to the upside off of one of these.
Right. That's what I thought was pretty interesting as well, right? Is that you essentially have been kind of doing this sideways move, a lot of chartists pointing towards the range narrowing. I pointed out a couple weeks back, the JP Morgan had that kind of bearish look on the role of miners and whether or not we'd get another kind of break below, and then all of a sudden, boom, a pop.
Exactly, and you know what? Everybody's kind of scratching their head and searching for what is behind it. Fundamentally, technically, there doesn't seem to be much out there. You look at the charts and nothing other than this massive amount of congestion that we've had over the last 3, 4, 5 weeks or so really is pointing towards this breakout. And if this rally holds, and we certainly no one knows what's going to happen. We have another 9 days or so left of the month. This would actually be the first positive month for Bitcoin since last July. I mean, put that in perspective.
So, Scott, we're going to talk about this a little bit more on the show later on, but I want to get your take before I do my own. I'm looking for reasons for this or that, and coming up short. I mean, Bloomberg had an article about how it's tied to the JPM coin. I don't even get how how that is a bullish play, to be honest. But at the end of the day, Scott, we're looking at a market in stocks that has been nonstop rallying off the low. All right, and then all of a sudden, this really risky asset gets a pop too. I mean, do we need to make this more complicated than just echoing the risk-on sentiment in markets?
No, first off, to your point about the JP Morgan coin, I don't think it has anything to do with that.
Right, exactly.
Whatsoever.
No way.
No, there's no chance. I don't know what the reporter said, what the report was. I didn't see it. I don't think it has anything to do with that. I think that this is maybe just a little bit of risk on that people are looking for some alpha, looking for some appetite here. And again, there's no fundamental, there's no technical reason behind it. And, people are saying, 4,000 is that magic number. That is just a round number. Just like when, the S&P or the Dow gets to one of those big round numbers, people look at that. It's just a psychological number. So at this point, I don't know what's behind it, but I will tell you that the volume, especially here at the CME today on the futures contract, is over 15,000 contracts. We haven't seen anything over 5,000 contracts in the longest time. So there is definitely something that sparked people's appetite for this.
On the futures side, obviously one of the big, pending kind of bullish cases is that you'll get institutional folks in. I believe it was last week, or the week before actually, we had developments that a couple pension funds down near my home in Virginia invested in, our friends over at Morgan Creek and their fund. But I mean, it's a small amount, and it's actually not even in cryptos. It's in companies related to blockchain. But I mean, what will you be looking for to see if any of this is, a sustainable move or just an aberrant pop in a speculative contract?
Well, I certainly don't expect from the futures side to see volume stay up here at 15,000+ contracts a day. But if we can sustain over the next few weeks 5,000 plus a day, that's actually very, very positive for crypto, for Bitcoin in general. That's a massive amount of retail volume coming into this space. And then, there's also the thought that I think, February 25th, the NASDAQ is listing, they're quoting. They're not listing anything. They're going to start showing some quotes. Maybe there's something behind that people feel that's going to be a positive impetus to this. I don't know. I don't think it has much to do with it when it comes down to the fundamentals, but you never know.
I got one more for you, Mr. Bauer, okay? Because when I look to see if there's something interesting here or if it's just a, momentary glimpse of euphoria around blockchain and stuff again, I don't know, man. I can't get over the fact that Riot Blockchain's up 55% today. It's like when all this stuff goes, it just goes. It still is this market where when it goes, it's just everything goes. I mean, what's this company's done anything? It's up 55%.
It comes down to that old adage. Oliver, and it's psychological. It's that FOMO. I really feel it. It's the fear of missing out. And people are maybe, after 9 months or a year of just getting completely taken to the woodshed on this, maybe they're just saying, oh my God, I missed that 3,200 print, or I missed that 3,400 print. I've got to get in now. I don't see what else is behind this right now.
Yeah. All right, Scott, we got to leave it there. Good stuff. Looking forward to it. Finally, some fun talking about Bitcoin, right? We've been waiting.
Yep.
All right, Scott Bauer, CEO of Prosper Trading Academy. Always a pleasure.